Uh-oh, now this is awkward. Was Meghan Markle caught begging Netflix boss not to fire her and Prince Harry? What the deuce is going on here? Well, make sure you subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for more details in this Daily Nerd starting right now. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef, the Alternerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye, and oh my goodness. Yeah, let's jump into this one, shall we? So on the second occasion that Meghan went to see Beyoncé at the Renaissance tour, she was actually pictured sitting next to Netflix boss and CEO Ted Sarandos and his wife less than 1 week after Prince Harry's Heart of Invictus was released and bombed big style. So the question here is, was she actually caught begging the Netflix boss not to fire her and Prince Harry after a string of flops on the Netflix platform? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the receipts and you guys can decide on that one. But yeah, on Monday night, Megzy was seen and pictured sat next to Netflix streaming giant CEO Ted Sarandos and his wife Nicole Avant at the SoFi Stadium in California on Monday night. Here, the Daily Mail reports one topic of discussion may have been Prince Harry's Invictus Games documentary, which was branded a flop, having failed to make Netflix's top 10 in either Britain or in the US. And yeah, it has been reported all over that Heart of Invictus was an absolute Netflix flop, failing to make the top 10 list here in the UK and also as well in the US. So yeah, going back to this, hot off the heels of Heart of Invictus flopping, could she have used this opportunity to beg the Netflix boss not to fire her and Prince Harry after a string of flops on the platform? Now, I say a string of flops because earlier on this year, a couple of weeks after the mockumentary Harry and Meghan was broadcast, they released this series called Live to Lead. And this did exactly the same as Heart of Invictus. It bombed. Again, it didn't make the top 10 list either here in the UK or in America. Now, this series took a look at influential leaders throughout history and how they changed the world. But we've got here a PR expert who goes by the social media alias Royalty saying, quote, "It's one of the first tests commercially of their brand strategy to pull people in with personal drama and hope they stay for the philanthropy." So here with Live to Lead being released in January, they failed that. They failed on that because no one gave a shiz about their philanthropy, right? And so it bombed. Few months later, come to present time, Hazard then releases their third offering to Netflix, which is Heart of Invictus, and same thing happens. It bombs. No one cares about him or Megzy anymore. They have had enough. So again, you've got to wonder, did Megzy use this opportunity after a string of failures on Netflix to turn around to boss and beg him to not let them go, beg him to not cancel their contract? Now, in terms of, Royalty, she turned round at the time when Live to Lead bombed and said, look, with little to no PR, a Saturday holiday release, and no gossip to drive organic press, it didn't even crack the top 100 TV shows. Now, at least Live to Lead kind of had an excuse as to why it may have bombed, but Heart of Invictus doesn't, because there was PR. There was a little bit of a lead up to it. There was a little bit of awareness of this thing coming out. And again, it still didn't crack the top 10 in the UK or the US, similar to Live to Lead. Royalty also said the one thing that is clear is that the Sussex name alone isn't enough to drive views, which will hurt them. And so, yeah, when you've got Heart of Invictus flopping and also, leading up to that Live to Lead flopping, well, Yeah, their Sussex name alone isn't enough for them to have success. And even a Hollywood super-time talent agent even said this a couple of months ago. Here back in June, around about the time that Spotify ditched and cancelled and fired Meghan and Hazard, Jeremy Zimmer turns around and says, turns out Meghan Markle was not a great audio talent or necessarily any kind of talent. Now, who is Jeremy Zimmer, you may ask? So he's the chief executive of United Talent Agency, and he's represented stars such as Benedict Cumberbatch and Damian Lewis. So he is like a big honcho in Hollywood, right? Very, very important person. And again, he says, quote, turns out Meghan Markle was not a great audio talent or necessarily any kind of talent. And adding, and just because you're famous doesn't make you great at something. Yeah, just because you're famous doesn't make you great at something, right? So again, with this string of flops on the Netflix platform, okay, and everyone pretty much figuring out that, Hazard and Megxie have no talent, and they're just not buying into them whatsoever. Did Megxie use this opportunity in the presence of Ted Sarandos on Monday at that Beyoncé concert to beg him not to fire, not to ditch, not to cancel their contract? Well, I don't know about you, but I think it's a distinct possibility. Did she also use that opportunity to beg Ted Sarandos for a final chance for them to be able to produce the Meet Me at the Lake series or film or whatever they're going to do with it? Because a couple of weeks ago, we found out that Netflix had paid £3 million for the film rights to the romantic novel that Megxie and Hazard will produce for the streaming service as part of their £80 million deal, or $100 million deal, right? Initial reports suggested the couple had actually bought it, but no, Netflix came out and was like, no, we bought the rights, right? So again, I'm asking, did Megxie be like, please keep us on. I know we've had a string of flops and failures, but with the film rights that we've bought to this book now, we'll turn it around. I think it's a distinct possibility, guys. I really, really do. And so the source described the book as right up their alley because they, i.e. Hazard and Megxie, love stories and rom-coms. And the Sussexes famously wanted to tell their own love story in their mockumentary, Harry and Meghan. Now, PR guru Mark Borowski believes the financial backers of the Netflix adaptation overpaid because the Sussexes have zero track record in drama or producing anything of consequence, as pretty much evidenced here for Heart of Invictus and here for Live to Lead. Two things that they have produced, that they have released on Netflix, that have bombed, that haven't been a commercial success for them or for Netflix. They've been absolute failures. But, PR guru Mark Borowski says that the timing of the announcement, with lots of negativity around the couple, makes him suspect that there's more of this than meets the eye. He says, quote, they need to do something. According to Tom Bower, they fell out with the Beckhams. Harry was forced to cold shoulder Bex because Meghan's position on Victoria. The rights for this could have cost up to £3 million, although if it's a bestseller, you wouldn't be handing it to Harry and Meghan. There's some amazing drama producers out there. Why would you give away a prize asset? Well, why would you indeed? Especially when, again, their track record ain't great. You've got Live to Lead that bombed in January. You've got Heart of Invictus that has just recently bombed. They are on a string of failures here. So again, finally, showing you all the receipts, I asked the question, with Megxie being spotted mingling and sitting with Netflix CEO head honcho boss Ted Sarandos and his wife at the Beyoncé gig on Monday, could she have used that as an opportunity to beg him not to fire her and Prince Hazard after a string of flops with Live to Lead and Heart of Invictus, and turning around and saying, look, we can make this right again. Keep us on. Meet me at the lake. We'll make it a success. And this is what we're going to do. In my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Oh, hell yeah. But do I think it's just a matter of time before Netflix drops the dead weight, i.e. Meghan has her? Hell yeah. With that being said, enough with my gob. It's now time for your gobs. If you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course there's going to be more. Then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe. I'll be honest with you, help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button right there. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about Hazard, Megzy and the Netflix deal, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.